Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and today we're going to go over the updated weekly stats by Redfin. We'll start by looking at the leading indicators. We'll look at year-over-year decline and a plethora of other data in chart form. So really cool video today. So the last couple of weeks, we've been monitoring the data to see if additional trends are forming and reversing the trajectory of where they were headed around February. So really cool stuff today, guys. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in real estate in Texas. So I know a little bit, and I really enjoy helping first-time homeowners. I'm just saying, you guys, and if you can, for all of this effort, please, you guys, for your boy, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, hit notifications. But the name of this article is titled Housing Market Update. Home prices drop 3% historical, but monthly housing payments hit record high as mortgage rates tick up. So we'll start by jumping into year-over-year price decline in several of the biggest metro areas. And you guys will notice that it drastically increased week over week. We now have over 60%, again, 60% of the top metro areas now have year-over-year price decline. And that's not including peak to trough. That's just year over year. Take a look at the list now. Home prices falling in more than half of the US. The median US home price fell for the 8th straight 4-week period after more than a decade of increases. You guys, the housing market's broken. It's crashing, okay? It's unevenly dispersed, but nevertheless, massive red flags. We have systematic failure all over the place. Caution, right? Caution. Home prices dropped in 30 of the 50 most populous US metro areas. You guys, 60%. So if you followed the advice of realtors, you purchased at the peak, guess what? You now have a year-over-year loss on your house, not to mention the 8% in fees it typically costs to sell your house. So a predominant amount of people that purchased after 2022, they're stuck. Now, the biggest drop was in Austin at 15.1%, and that followed by Oakland, Sacramento, and San Francisco, all California West Coast metros, and then Seattle, another West Coast metro. I believe we're seeing this massive decline in these 4 West Coast metros because unaffordability, number one, but number two, migration out of those metros. So we have migration out, unaffordability, and also, you guys, homelessness and crime are everywhere on the West Coast. And that's why I think that you're seeing that. Austin is seeing a bigger price decline because not only are people leaving, the job market's messed up, unaffordability, pandemic boomtown, but an abundance of new home construction, which is going to continue to lead the housing market crash. And why is that, you guys? Because unlike sellers and unlike buyers, builders must continue to do business no matter what the market conditions are. So builders will have to continue to build and will have to continue to sell, even though this housing market is unaffordable and broken. And the only way that they'll be able to sell most of their products is by lowering and dropping the prices of their homes. And I'm already seeing in my local housing market that many new build communities are lowering the prices under resale averages. All right, now jumping into the leading indicators for the 4 weeks ending April 20th, mortgage rates increased to 6.39%. Now the daily average, y'all, is 6.67%. You know, basically what this is telling us is we've been stuck between 6 and 7% pretty much since what, September? But it has been a roller coaster ride. Now, mortgage applications, here's a big leading indicator, declined 10%, you guys, from a week earlier. So it appears all of this recovery has already fizzled out. And honestly, I believe that there is a slight recovery because tax returns. I mean, tax returns is crazy. It burns a hole in people's pockets. But let's continue. It is down 36% year over year. Mortgage applications down 36%. Now, home buying demand, according to this, is down 7% from a year earlier. I don't see how that's possible, but okay. Home buying demand is only down 7%. Okay, Redfin. Now, Google searches is down 17% from a year earlier. Now, this is interesting. Touring activity is up 31% from the start of the year. So I thought that was interesting. It just basically means that there is demand on the sideline. Now, here's the really big thing, y'all, that no one's talking about. Demand has always been on the sideline. It's always been on the sideline. Everyone has always wanted to own, but when you deregulate, like in 2002, when you deregulate, or like in 2019, 2020, 2021, if you just print money and lower interest rates, you're going to open the floodgate of demand. Doesn't matter how much supply we have, it's not going to sustain hyper demand. Now, visualizing some of this week's data, starting at median sales price, you guys can see that we are down year over year 2.6%. Again, what this means is on average, if you purchased this time last year, the equity on your home dropped an average of 2.6%. Again, if you purchase this time of year. But I want to keep reminding you that's 2.6% in just equity. When you throw in 8% in fees, the average person is down 10%. Right now, 10.6% if you purchased this time last year. Now, obviously, you guys, what I have been saying that I think is going to happen is about right here, say May and June area, right about here. I think that home prices may continue to trickle up before, okay, maybe about right there, maybe even sooner. But once it hits that trickle up period around maybe May to June, I think we're going to whiplash downward. And I do believe this year we will go underneath this blue line right here, which represents 2021 median sales price. And you guys know I have a bet with Jeff, Vital, and Johnny that we will be under 2021 median value this year. So hopefully we'll see that, but it did go up slightly week over week. All right, now take a look at this data set. I call this the Johnny Fly data set because Johnny texted me about this data set. This is median asking price. Now it is up 0.4% year over year. Now we want to see this under this red line here. Okay, so we want to see that go under that red line, and we hit that pretty much or tied it last week. Unfortunately, we trickled back up. We want this to go down. I suspect this will go down. I'm honestly surprised it's over that red line, you guys, but I suspect it's going to start taking a dump. And I don't think it's going to be as long as median sales price. I think because median asking price leads median sales price, so odds are we're going to see this whiplash downward prior to the median sales price whiplashing downward. Again, y'all, I'm just doing the best I can to forecast what I believe based on my experience is going to happen in the future. It's very hard to do that when when a lot of this is being ran by liars and the data keeps changing. But to my best of my knowledge, that's what I think is going to happen. We'll start with median asking price whiplashing down, followed by median sales price. But median asking price is up slightly week over week. Now, one of the most powerful things of all, you guys, is the unaffordability or home buying housing payments. Now, that is up year over year, only 11.6%. But remember, you guys, that's way higher than we were when we were down here in 2021. And the average mortgage payment was under $1,700 in 2021. However, what we're noticing here is there is a tick up in mortgage payments, more than likely as a result of the interest rates continuing to go up. We're knocking on 6.7, 6.8% right now. That mortgage payment is just going to go higher. And that is exactly what we want to see, you guys. That right there is leading the market. Your payment is leading the market. So that's a beautiful thing because that did go up week over week. Pending sales are down 19% year over year. So the crash started with sales and transactions. Obviously, it is down sharply, you guys. It's probably going to be under this gray line here in a couple of weeks. That gray line obviously represents 2020. So we're probably going to go under that. The reason we're not right now is the lockdowns. If you see that gray line kind of going under like this, that's the lockdown right there. But nevertheless, pending sales are down sharply. Now we are heading into months of inventory drop. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. Now, that data set is going to be followed by new listings of homes, which is down 21% year over year. Obviously, you guys, you can see the trajectory upward. It's going to continue. What I'm saying is the listings trajectory will continue upward till probably around July or August, right around here. So I'm saying this is what's going to happen. This line is going to go up to about right there and may start going down again like normal. So no doubt you guys are going to start seeing a lot more inventory hit your market as long as you're patient and watching the data in your own local housing market. All right, so months of supply basically stayed the same. We're at 2.8 months of supply on the market, which basically means the housing market is frozen. And now that we're going into months of historical inventory dropping, I'm saying that that is going to shoot up. I'm surprised it actually went down as fast as it went down here. Again, I think that's because of the tax return refunds, but we're going to start seeing this go up. Okay, we're going to start seeing that go up. Now, we've already can tell it has plateaued. Okay, so again, the housing market recovery, I'm sorry, you guys, but that never even happened to begin with. We will start seeing more months of supply available on the market. I'm certain of that. Even in my own local housing market, y'all, I've seen inventory go up 20% in a matter of weeks. And we should expect that. All right, so no relief here, unfortunately, but 29% of homes sold above final list price. So a little over more than 1 in 4 houses selling for above the final. Now you guys can see the trajectory is going up, so there is no relief. That did go up week over week. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to that number, because you can see historically that should go up during seasonality trends like this. However, that, in my opinion, y'all, it's going to go down, especially when we have a lot more inventory on the market. The reason that's high like that is we don't have as much inventory as we need to have price cut wars in the resale market. We're having it between new construction and resale, but we need price cut wars in resale. And we're just starting to see that. Again, depending on your local housing market, you guys, this is national stats right here. All right, so one of the leading indicators on the interest rates is the listings that had price drops. We are still at 5%. This is historically high, y'all. So we're right here. That did go up week over week. We are way higher than all the last 3 years. So the last 3 years, it has been way, way down here, you guys, way under 3%. So about 2.5% for the last 3 years. We're double that right now. So sellers are starting to wake up. A lot of people want them to wake up a little bit faster. And what I'm thinking, you guys, as a result of the lack of listing houses at the correct price, I think this is going to continue to shoot up. I think that will continue to shoot up, because there is still a tremendous amount of people trying to sell their house for way too much money. Okay, so here's our home buying demand index. This did go up somehow week over week. It inched up. You can see that. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride as far as demand. It is what it is. It's down 7% year over year. It's still under the blue line and the red line, so it's under 2021 and it's under 2022. But this does mean that people, in my opinion, the reason there's any demand at all is excess savings. There's still a tremendous amount of excess savings in the market from COVID. Now, the excess savings, and I've done a video on this, is rapidly decreasing, but that excess savings for the consumer, the normal household, you guys, that's propping up the market, quite frankly, and that's what we're seeing. And again, I think that's what we saw around February and March. Excess savings topped with tax returns and a slight decrease in interest rates caused fear of missing out. I mean, that's what I saw. Only time will tell, so we'll keep watching the trends. But let me finish this out by digging back into the article and reading a couple snippets that they wanted to mention. So very interesting, the unaffordability hit an all-time high as average weekly mortgage rates rose to 6.39% after 5 consecutive weeks of declines. The new high comes in spite of median home sales price dropping 2.6 from a year earlier during the 4 weeks ending April 16th, the biggest decline in over a decade. So pay attention, right? We need to pay attention. These are red flags. This is a sign of things to come, right? Caution is suggested. Home buyers are window shopping and many are entering the store, but few of them are making it to the cash register yet. By all means, window shop. Just don't buy the overpriced junk house, right? There's not much on the shelves to choose from. High mortgage rates and still high prices are making homes too expensive for many buyers. Some buyers are discouraged by mortgage rates rising this week, which is partly due to stronger than expected bank earnings, making it more likely the Fed will hike interest rates next month in May. And honestly, guys, the consensus is they're absolutely going to hike interest rates in May, and they should hike interest rates in May because inflation is still overwhelming, especially in the housing market, which has what? Depending on the data that you look at, 16 to 19% of the economy, and in CPI, shelter accounts for 35 to 40%. So it's pretty important to get the inflation under control in the housing market. Do y'all agree with me on that? In conclusion, I want to end this video telling y'all to be strong of heart. Keep your patience intact. Right now, we have the trends on our side, okay? But we still want to pay attention to that because we don't want to get stuck renting. So if you're on the sideline, or if you even want to buy a house at all, you might want to make sure to do what I'm doing, which is increase my purchasing power by eliminating all of my debt, increasing my credit score, monitoring how I'm spending my money, saving saving even more money. And I know I just had sushi, but it wasn't expensive and I barely even go. And also, you guys, make as much money as possible. The money that you make is called qualifying income. You need qualifying income to get a loan. Now, on top of that, you should become an expert in your local housing market. And I'm just going to throw this out here. You may want to get your license. The value in having your real estate license, other than seeing what's going on, saving money on commission, is giving you the ability to access the MLS, or multiple listing service, which provides live data. And you guys don't even have to listen to me at that point. You could do your own research in your own local housing market. So again, use the data to find the deal. Now, other than that, you guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective from today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.